She didn't know anyone was listening. As she rocked the frail old man in the dim light of the care home room, her voice trembled in song, soft, cracked, but filled with something money could never buy. What she didn't see was the tall figure in the hallway, fists clenched, tears forming, eyes locked on the woman whose lullaby would soon rewrite both of their lives. She thought she was invisible. But that night, someone watched, and everything changed. The Silver Pines care home didn't get many visitors. Once a week, someone might drop in with flowers or fruit baskets, but the halls mostly echoed with silence and the occasional shuffle of slippers. It was a quiet world, almost forgotten by time. But every morning at 7 a.m., a warm voice pierced the stillness. Elena Martinez was not the highest-paid caregiver at Silver Pines. She wasn't even full-time. But she was the one who stayed. While others clocked out or sighed through their shifts, Elena lingered. She read poetry to the residents, brought them favorite teas when she could afford it, and more than anything, she sang. Her songs weren't perfect. They were old Spanish lullabies her mother used to hum. Some residents didn't understand the words, but they closed their eyes anyway, lulled not by the lyrics, but by the sincerity. Her favorite was Mr. Raymond Hale, an 83-year-old with piercing blue eyes and a body that had forgotten how to walk. Alzheimer's had taken his memories, but now and then, he blinked and whispered a name, Daniel. No one knew who that was. To Elena, Mr. Hale was more than a patient. He reminded her of her own father, who passed when she was only 12. She would clean his hands, comb his silver hair, and softly sing as she held his wrinkled palm in hers. One night, during a storm, the power went out. Most staff panicked. Elena? She found candles. She stayed. Mr. Hale was agitated, mumbling nonsense. So she sat by his bedside, humming the song her abuela once sang to comfort frightened children. Her voice cracked. Her eyes welled. Still she sang. Outside the room, unseen, stood a man, soaked in rain, his suitcase at his feet, and a storm not just outside, but inside his chest. Daniel Hale hadn't visited his father in over 4 years. The rift between them had grown after his mother died. His father's cold words, his own ambition, the long silences, they had hardened something in him. Now he was a tech CEO, gracing magazine covers and investment conferences. But none of it mattered that night. Because the moment he stepped into Silver Pines, all his success felt hollow. He had expected a hospital smell, forgotten faces, neglect. Instead, he found a candlelit room, a woman, a song, and his father, smiling. Daniel stood frozen. Her voice wrapped around his childhood like a blanket he didn't know he missed. She held his father's hand like it still meant something. Her eyes weren't tired, they were alive. When she finished the song, she kissed Mr. Hale's knuckles and whispered, "Buenas noches, Papa." Daniel didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he returned. Quietly. Sat in the corner. Watched. Every hour revealed more. How she brushed his father's teeth as if it were an honor. How she never winced when he yelled nonsense. How she treated dignity like it was sacred. On the third day, he approached her. "You're Elena, right?" She turned, surprised. "Yes, sir." He introduced himself. She paled slightly, recognizing the name. "I've been watching you care for my father," he said. "I thought he had no one left. But he has you." Elena shrugged. "He's still someone's dad." Daniel asked her to walk with him. He wanted to know her story. She told him about her single mother, about working nights to pay for her nursing degree, about being turned down for better-paying jobs because she didn't look the part. But she stayed at Silver Pines because someone needs to be there when families forget. Daniel had nothing to say. For once, the CEO had no speech prepared. That week, he stayed, brought in music, sat beside his father for the first time in years. He even asked Elena to teach him the song. His fingers trembled on the chords, but she smiled. For the first time in a long while, so did he. Then one morning, Mr. Hale passed away. Peacefully. Elena found him with a half-smile and Daniel's photo on his chest. The old man had remembered. At the funeral, Daniel gave a short eulogy. He only said one sentence. "I lost my father years ago, but thanks to someone who sang in the dark, I found him before he left." A week later, Elena received a letter. Inside was a check. A large one. Life-changing. But more than that, there was a handwritten note. "This isn't payment. It's recognition. For the nights you stayed. For the dignity you gave. For the song that rewrote a broken man's ending. I've created the Elena Foundation to train, support, and uplift caregivers like you. Because the world needs more people who sing in the dark. Daniel. Elena cried for hours. She still works at Silver Pines. But now she runs training workshops, builds better systems, fights for higher wages. She sings every night, knowing someone is always listening. Sometimes, we think no one sees the love we pour into the quiet corners of life. But someone always does. And the smallest acts, like singing to an old man in the dark, can echo louder than a fortune. This isn't just a story about caregiving. It's a reminder. The way you show up when no one's watching could change everything, when someone finally does.